What's up, y'all? What is going on? It is another Tuesday night of tomfoolery, shenanigans, and all of that. Welcome to He Said, She Said podcast, where you get to talk about relationships, friendships, situationships, all kind of ships. You get to hear it from her side and his side. And listen, all I'm going to tell you is we don't know how to do it right, but we can definitely tell you how not to do it. This is not a safe space. We are the relationship misfits, and then there's Mr. Smokefella. So I'm going to bring on my other co-host, but let me just tell you right now, I need y'all to like, share, tag your people that need to come join this conversation. Hit the love button for me, y'all. I want to see some hearts floating up on the screen. Let me know you out there. What's up? I see y'all already in the chat. We got Tanya, we got Robin, we got Joey. Oh, we got LeBron. Listen, I'm telling you, we got a show for you tonight. But let me bring the other she that completes the she said here. My boo, Camo Chick in the house. What's up, Camo?
Hey, I got
Hey,
a new
y'all.
shoe.
Listen, I see you, Tia. What's up, William? Ooh, William, you cute. Oh, my bad.
Hello.
I got distracted.
Stay on point. Stay on point.
Okay,
We
I
only
got
have an hour.
distracted.
Hey, everybody. Are we ready for the Tuesday shenanigans? Because I'm ready.
You ready? I'm ready.
Got my
All right.
drink. I'm ready.
Listen, I need some more hearts. I only got 2 hearts so far. Like y'all sucking. I'm not feeling the love. But while we bring on all the hearts in the comments, let me bring Mr. Smokefella on. Mr. Smokefella, come join us. He is the comic relief of our he's. Really?
Hey.
Get
Be
over it.
cool over there. Be cool over there. It
You're
ain't in your
already
contract
getting
to
ready.
be demeaning. My contract, you got to come in with some love. You can't be throwing no shade. It's in the contract.
My fault. I'm just saying your shirt was a little shady.
Get
Petty.
over it. Get over it.
Petty.
Okay. Get
Okay, we're
over
gonna have
it.
to talk to your attorney because I feel like every week there's a new clause to your contract that we need to discuss.
Agreed.
All right.
Those
So
might be facts.
I gotta bring on Lefty, the other yes, Mr. Smokehouse.
You know the rule. I'm not supposed to be by the logo.
Please put me by the logo.
Oh my God.
Put me by the logo, girl, so he can be quiet. Come on. Thank you.
What
Are
up,
you happy now? Are you happy?
What up, people? What up, people? What's going on? What's going on? Thank you for joining us again on this Tuesday. What up to our people out there? My man Sweet's in the building. My man Will.
I know. What's up? We
all
got
the people out there.
Dwayne is back, y'all, because you know we had some unfinished business that
What's
I
up,
had
fam?
some outstanding questions. Sweet said you are Commissioner Pound Cake is in the building.
Wow.
Hey, Lisa.
What's up? That was a good comment. I love it.
Hey, we're not gonna entertain nonsense tonight.
Hey, Jamia.
All right, so guys, we got to get into the topic tonight because you guys already know last week we ran out of time. People were asking for more time, more hours. So let's get into what we came here to talk about tonight. We all dressed in red, sort of. We won't call out Camo Chick because we're talking red flags tonight, y'all. Red flags. So I don't want to get into specific red flags. That's been trending all over the internet. This a red flag, this a red flag. I want to get into some questions, especially for our dating age group. So my first question is, if you in the dating pool over the age of 40, is everything a red flag? I just want to know.
Yes.
Lucky.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lucky, weigh in on that.
Yes.
I feel like everything is a red flag in it.
Yes. It's just that
really?
simple. Yes. Just because
it's that simple.
It's that
simple. What about you, Camo Chick?
Absolutely. It's a red flag.
Everything
is. Yeah.
So we just around here just waving red flags.
It don't matter what age you at, it's red flags, but people still ignore those red flags. Period. Point blank.
No, your experiences though, you didn't been through some stuff by the time you our age. So your experiences got you a little more, got your antennas up. No, I'm a red scarf on.
Oh man,
I'm
I
a
thought
red
you had a
scarf.
smoking jacket
And
on. I
keep
was
your
gonna say, damn.
no, keep your your antennas up a little more now at this age, man. You didn't been tricked. You didn't been tricked out your drawers a few times. You didn't got played,
See,
all
that's
that
what
good stuff.
but
So
is
by
that really red flags though, Lucky? Like
it was red flags though.
It was a red
I feel
flag.
like our BS meter is here and like we
Mhm.
have zero tolerance for BS, but does that really make it a red flag? Like I really
Yes.
feel like we call
Yes.
everything a red flag, just like we call everybody a narcissist now. Like that's just
Is
the thing.
Yeah,
is
yeah, that's the
Everything,
hot thing
Yeah.
right now,
yeah,
narcissism. Yeah.
everything is a red flag.
is a
Like
red
I
flag
saw
of
stuff.
stupidity?
Oh, stupidity. Okay, go
Nah.
ahead. Dig into that. I don't think it's
I,
stupidity.
I'm just saying, you know, you get into this relationship, or you attracted to somebody, whatever, and you know something ain't right, and you just continue. Is that not stupidity? Or you just didn't look at the red flags? Which one is it? Because you saw them. You
Uh,
Or is it
saw them.
desperation? It could be
Yeah.
desperation.
Stupidity, desperation, red flags. Man, you can have
Mhm.
all kind of names for it.
You
but
know, I mean,
Okay, so
after go ahead, go ahead,
it
love
could
bug.
be something that when you were younger you didn't really look into, right? Like your priorities, your standards was a little different, right? It was she got to be fine first, then that's how your order went. But I think
wait, she had to be
it's
cute first, and then
that was
everything
first.
else.
That was always
Oh,
first,
That
and
okay.
was
everything else fell
that's
in.
it.
But
That's where
but you
you start.
didn't. But I think when like I said, when you didn't have some experiences, now you kind of them little signs. You know how we always joke about she was crazy. We all had a crazy girlfriend.
Hmm.
We saw them signs that she was a little off, right? From the first, we knew like the first month or two she might be a little off. But when you older, you done been through some crazy chicks. Now you like, I know that twinkle in your eye. You ain't right. You get it now. Like I pay attention to stuff. When I was young, I never thought about conflict resolution,
Hmm.
right? Pay attention how people deal with other people, right? If within the first month you hear on the phone cussing folks out, just off the chain, then you can't be naive and think she wouldn't be like that with me. So
Hmm.
it's little stuff like that you got to catch on too quick. Like, mm-mm,
So I'm gonna follow up that comment, and I'm gonna ask you a question, Lucky.
mm-hmm.
Do you think that there is different weights for different red flags? That not necessarily we ignore them, but we don't give the proper weight to it. The example you just used. Oh, somebody cussing somebody out, they never talk to me that way. So it's a red flag, but it's not a deal breaker. Because see, I understand a red flag to me should be a deal breaker for me. But I feel like
Hmm.
some people have different categories of red flags. This a red flag, this a kind of red flag, this kind of pinkish. Like I feel like we categorize them and we give them
Right.
different weight.
Hmm.
What you think?
Oh,
Camo chick, what you think?
yeah. Go ahead, Tiff. Go ahead, Tiff.
I was gonna say I think so. The older that we get, we weigh our options, right? So what battle are we gonna fight? Which one is that deal breaker? I always encourage people like you have to have your non-negotiables going in as to what you will expect and accept in your relationship or in the dating pool. And that differs for everybody. Like I think with like Lucky saying, like we when we're younger, we let a lot of things slide past. But at my age at 48, I'm not doing all that. Like
Mm-hmm.
literally I see crazy coming, I'm going across the street, like your mama used to say when you were little. But again, I think there's so many people, once we get to our age, there's also almost this, I hate to say it, there's a sense of desperation for some people that they will continue to overlook those red flags and say, oh, I can accept the cheating. We okay. It's just a little bit of cheating. But he cheated or she cheated versus, oh, he can't pay the bills or she can't pay her bills and now I got to foot the bills. Like that's a different weight at our age, because if you're
Right.
sound in your career and you are sound financially, you don't want to carry the weight of somebody else after you get to be a certain age. When you're young and dumb, you do some stupid stuff. But the older you get, all that gets ixnay.
So first up, I want to shout out a first-time commenter. Welcome to the tomfoolery. Khadija, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Khadija,
Yeah,
it
Khadija.
said, so it's what you gonna put up with. So it's really, it's about the weights. It's like at this point, what can I put up with and what can I not put up with? But see, I got a question. I love that we transition there. So here's a question to the group. Do you really feel like everything is a red flag or some of it is our unresolved baggage?
A little bit of both. It's a little bit of both, but I think like you said, so a red flag. I don't know about. I can only speak for guys, but our red flags may not necessarily be a deal breaker. It may not be okay. This ain't gonna go too far. You know what I mean? Like this thing ain't gonna, because I don't like I say, I don't like how she talk. I don't like how she like deals with certain issues, or I might not like how she handle her finances, or I might not. You know, it's that don't mean you just I'm gonna leave her alone, but you may necessarily now you kind of stepping back. You know, all right, we deal for a little bit, but this ain't. You know, it ain't gonna go nowhere. Typically, guys know early if it's going where it's gonna go. If it's going far, you know, if this can maybe have a chance to go to the next level, or we just gonna mess around and date for a little bit. It's gonna be just a time killer. You know what I mean?
But do you think that if it is our unresolved baggage, do you think we call it a red flag when it's just us? And I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna give you an example so we can talk about it. So you're in the dating phase, and somebody like I'm gonna give you an example of what happened to me. Guy was like, "Hey, I feel like you not calling as much as you used to." And what I realized is for me, I've been called clingy, right? I've been called somebody who moves too quickly. So I was intentionally walking slow. And he took that as an offense. But I think it was a place where we had to communicate. But I'm just saying, is he explained his side, but he said it was a red flag that I was not available. That really wasn't a red flag, but that was a reaction to what I already been going through. Are we too quick to label something a red flag instead of pulling back and saying, "Oh, this my stuff. This me. This something I feel some kind of way because old dude before you did this, or old girl before you did this."
Right.
And I'm reading too much into it based off of my past experiences instead of giving you a fair shot.
Right. And I think I mentioned this before, is that Iyanla talks about, you know, back in the day about how, you know, it'll be the same story, different players if you haven't learned your lesson. So I always say if something continuously happens, the same type of situation, then you need to look at you as opposed to looking at the other person. Right. So to make sure that you've addressed whatever issue, baggage that you're bringing along with you, because of course there will be some things that are consistent across relationship. Everybody, you know, against, you know, dating in and out, but you have to be able to identify or get to a place where you know whether or not it's your own baggage or it's their baggage or their issue.
Well, you do understand that's being accountable for your bullshit. And that's one of the hardest things for people to do. Be accountable for their bullshit in a relationship.
Well, that's what Joey said. Accepting someone's flaws and accepting their bullshit are two different things and should not be confused. But I think we are confusing them because I would tell you, so William, I agree with you. That was his red flag. But was it a red flag? Because I would have loved to have called more. I was intentionally pulling back to give him space to not smother him, right? So if he had communicated his expectations up front, then we could have resolved that quickly, right? So just like what Dwayne said, communication is key. He called it a red flag because, as I said, I feel like we attached that too quickly. It wasn't a conversation. It was, oh, I stopped calling you because you was doing this, and that was a red flag for me, bruh. Like, really?
Well, here's the thing, though, Nick. But here's the thing, Nick. It's no red flag book. Right. Your red flags are different. What's maybe your red flag for you is not a red flag for me, and vice versa. So, like, if it's certain things I know I can't deal with, maybe he wants someone to call. Maybe that particular guy wants somebody constantly calling him. You know, and so to him, when you're not calling, that's his red flag. Our experiences, we can say baggage all we want, but our experiences is what develops our red flag meter, especially at this age. It's what you've been through. Like, I don't care what's going on. You got it with, like, if I dealt with some chick who had a habit of just any random thing that I didn't, you know, at first I overlooked it because maybe she had a big booty and was cute, you know, now. Now I'm 48 years old. I'm like, baby
trying to do all
girl.
that.
Baby girl, we ain't going there. No.
So Nick, you see Will Wheat
Yeah, I was
comment?
trying to get to that, but first I want to get to Rocky's comment. This is where I'm going. It's a defense mechanism where we call it a red flag and we run because it looks like it could possibly be something that hurt us before. But I agree with what Will and Levita said.
Well, I want to call you on your bullshit because
Oh,
that's what Will is saying. If you wasn't trying to play the game and not be who you were, you clingy. That's you. Be you. You try to change the game up and be different, and it backfired on you. Just calling bullshit where bullshit is.
Hey, I'm gonna take that. I think that's real talk. And I mean, we keep it real here. I think that is real talk. In the dating game, I mean, it goes back to like last season when I talked about
It's in my
rotational
contract.
dating.
It's in my
Oh
contract
my
to be
God.
real.
Oh my God. We talked about it last season.
Page
Like, you
7
gotta-
point number
you-
10.
Right. You gotta do what's best for you in this dating and let everybody else move around. So I agree. And it was a lesson learned for me, right? Like, damn, that's a red flag for you. But last dude I talked to, my clinginess was a red flag. So, you know, going back again, you just got to be true to you. And if it's a red flag for them, so be it.
Well, when you say defense mechanism, I think you just ain't going, well, I'm going to leave you alone because you didn't call me two times today. I just think it's something that you pay attention to, right? Like, it's something that's what I consider red flag. Maybe that's just my definition. It's something, you know what, I ain't quite feeling that. So let me just kind of watch and see how that goes. It's not necessarily a deal breaker. Just because we saying red flag, I mean a deal breaker. Now, there are certain deal breakers. I'll give you that. But of course, you're not going, you know what I mean? And I know women are a lot more pickier than guys. You know, it could be the collar on his shirt was wrinkled.
That does not make me feel confident at all.
Weird or some weird shit. You know,
is called
like,
he said, she said. And what you not going to do is come for the females.
It's like red flag. Red flag. His collar's a little yellow. His white collar's a little yellow.
Oh my God.
We talked about that last week. Don't get mad because we got a list.
No.
We're not pickier. We just know what we want. Meanwhile, y'all be picking Trapolina and Street Tasha. We already talked about this last week because y'all not picky enough. Then y'all make every other woman behind Street Tasha pay for
You know what? Look, you were so right on that. I'm glad that we talked to the attorney last week and you came out with the statement because, man, this is truth and they don't want to hear it. Our attorney sanctioned this. Lefty said it. So bang, it is what it is.
Anyway, let's go. T Rich, first up, welcome back, T Rich. You have missed all the episodes of season 2 till today. I'm glad to see you back in the building. But T Rich said,
She on parole.
Is it a red flag when you're just taking notice of previous lessons learned or learned behavior that didn't work? Isn't a red flag like danger, danger, Will Roger? A red flag is something that will do you or your heart harm. Folks may just have bad habits. Is bad habits red flags? I may be redundant because I'm just getting on. Now, that's what I'm asking. To me, a red flag is a deal breaker. I see a red flag, I need to run. I need to go the other way. This is not going to work out. Already know it, right? But I think Lucky is bringing up a good point. I think we all use the same terminology for different things. Because if it's a red flag, you're supposed to stop. That's what red means. That's what the stop sign is.
But here's the thing. If that is your habit, then if it's something that you value and it's something that you continuously do and it is offensive to somebody else and that makes it their red flag, I can't do nothing about that if that's who I am. So if it's not who I am or it's just me doing something that, like I left the clothes on the floor or something like that. So for some people that's a red flag, right? But some people it's like, I left it there by accident, I'll pick it up. So that's a changed behavior. But it's different if it's something about like your finances. For many of us as adults, that's a huge red flag. But again, I can't be responsible for what your red flags are because if it's a red flag to you, it's your red flag. And I can't.
So Camo.
Yes.
Give me an example if you were out on a date, say this is your second or third date with this guy,
Mhm.
what's a red flag for you?
If
Give
you
the
talk
audience,
about your
give
ex
somebody.
the whole time,
Boom.
if I hear about your ex continuously, that's a red flag for me.
T. Rich
What
said
your
not
ex
liking bacon is
didn't
a
do.
red flag.
Oh, that's
Those
definitely
are
a red
facts.
flag. I promise you. Put my hands. I
Oh,
promise
he said,
you.
danger, abort
Danger,
mission.
danger, real Robinson. I promise you, I met the guy. He was perfect. But I promise you, because of my love of bacon and the fact that he did not do pork under any circumstances,
You
we
can't
could
trust
not
him.
be together. And
Couldn't
this
trust
was
him.
years ago. Like now I know there's some compromise. But
No, it's
at
not.
that
No,
time,
it's
I was
not.
like, oh,
Because
he
Saturday
was
morning
very
needs to
vegetarian.
smell like
I'm a
the whole
carnivore.
pig fest. I'm sorry.
So,
Bacon.
I'm a whole
Ham.
carnivore, so you got to give me
So
something.
I just want to call out because we got some good questions in the audience.
Yes.
So Stacy said, yes, we are more selective. I agree with that. We're not picky. We just put more thought into our selection than men do.
Correct.
Jamia
so
said
I'm reading these comments. I'm sorry.
they pick all these trollops and find out she can't even boil rice or string
God.
nouns
There
and
you
verbs
go.
together. That's my boo Jamia. Tell them. And then they
Oh
want to get
my
mad
God.
at us.
They get mad at us because we speaking truth.
Now, this was a great question. So Jamia said we all had different ideas of a red flag. Red flags to her are deal breakers. But she thinks people have habits that tend to turn people off. Can habits be broken? So I'm going to say this. I think a habit can be broken, but is the relationship worth me making something I'm comfortable doing?
Mm-hmm.
Change.
Jamia, we need to dive a little deeper in this. Give me a habit, give me an example of what you're referring to as a habit.
Well, like Will we said, the salad dressing in the corner of your mouth and you don't wipe it.
No, man, that's
So
a mistake.
I'll give a personal example.
That's a mistake.
And this actually happened to me. The
That
gentleman
tickled me.
that
They hitting us with the
I'm
red
trying to tell you,
flag.
I can't do it. I need
That
meat.
tickled me.
I ain't get this voluptuousness by eating salad. Anyway, but I'll give an example. So for me, years ago, gentleman I was dating, I thought on our way to get married, right? This is the guy everybody thought I was going to marry. So part of our challenge was he would always point out whatever was wrong with me, whether it was my weight, my hair, or something that I didn't do. However, if I were to address anything of his issues, which my big issue with him was his finances, and it literally would blow up because in his mind, it wasn't equal. Like I couldn't call out his issues, but he could definitely call out mine. And in both cases, it was like, oh, well, let's work together. You work out with me, I help you with your finances. We'll do this together. Yeah. But again, for me, it's like if you are going to point out my red flag and it's a habit or it's something that I can change, then you have to be willing to help me instead of saying it's a red flag. I don't like that. So for me, that's where I think I get stuck in saying, when I see the red flag, I'm just out. Like, I'm not doing this with you if you are going to always point out my stuff, but we can't address your stuff.
So that's a good point because it sounds like, and the ladies is chiming in, they agree with you. Stacy said red flags are just that. They're warning signs. Once you are made aware, you either address it or you run.
Right.
I agree. So listen, when do we really realize when a red flag is? Because we all know this was trending on social media and everybody was able to identify real quick what a red flag was. This is a red flag, and this is a red flag, this is a red flag. But yet we've all been in relationships where we saw this red flag. Not only did we see it, somebody we love pulled our coattail and was like, you don't think they drink too much? You don't think they do this too much? You don't think? Why is it that is it timing of when we realize it, or is it the fact that we ignore it and don't give it the proper weight until it's a problem? When do red flags really come into play in a relationship? Not when they should, but in reality, when are they really coming into play? Because I feel like they're coming into play too late.
They usually come in after the commitment. They usually come in when you didn't dove into it. And that's why I say it's not necessarily a deal breaker, because it could be somebody you dating to check off every box except this one thing. Now that one thing though could be huge. Just like you say, like we hanging a cigar shop, drinking, we drink, right? It could be drinking that a lot, right? You noticed it. Your antennas was up. It was cute, but not thinking like. And then down the line, then 6-7 months in, now you drink too much, right?
Right.
So at that point, it's too late. Like, no, you met me. I was drinking. I was probably drunk when I met you. So it don't matter. I probably wasn't sober when I met you.
But
see that
once you have sex, you can't see straight. You don't see no.
But you do understand that red flag. They knew that before they hollered at you. They knew that because 9 times out of 10, they ain't seen how you move. They ignored it. So it's not like the red flag came late. You just ignored it because you watched this individual. If you saw them on several occasions in their element, you saw it. You just ignored it.
You know what? I'm just throw it out there. I don't think we ignore it. I think we can fix it. I think there are certain red flags that we think that our love, and I'm speaking for women, and our poop thing is magical. And when I put this on them, they only drinking because they sad. They drinking because they lonely. Like, I got that. I can help manage that. Or they're only doing this because, or with me, it won't be an issue. I'm different. I'm magical. I'm a unicorn. And the reality is, no, you cannot change. You can't change a tiger into a house cat. Then you're wondering why he tearing your butt up in the house. He's not a cat.
I cannot keep up these comments. It is so many comments.
They are giving it to them in the chat.
It is rolling.
Let's go to the chat. So, because we fool ourselves thinking we can change people to what we want them to be. Yep. Miriam, yes, boo. Yes. How many flags does it take for you to exit stage left? Some people have a number.
Now what D just said, and you all kind of touched on that too. I think that's more of a female thing.
It is.
Now let's get into the he said versus the she said.
Yeah,
that's a female thing, because most guys, the woman we select or we get that title to, we typically like what she is. Like, that's what we like. We don't go in with the hopes of her transforming into something else. So I'm gonna put that on you ladies.
Oh,
get triggered.
You can trigger me. I'm gonna be honest. You can trigger. I'm gonna be honest, because years ago, I'm not gonna talk bullshit. Because in my 20s and my 30s, I will be honest and say I was that chick that thought she could fix him. Thought that she loved him enough, she did enough that he is gonna change his stripes and he's gonna be a better person. And guess what? It didn't happen. So I had to learn that what I was giving, that I need to make sure that I'm in a reciprocal relationship, because if I'm not, I'm always going to end up with the short end of the stick. And that's what was happening to me early on. Now it's like, oh, if it's not reciprocal, I can't even do that with you. So yes, women, I can't speak for every woman in the chat, but I was that chick. I was the social worker, counselor. Let me fix all your issues, girl.
But Camo, let me just say this. I agree. I am still that chick, working on it, whatever. I'm working on it. However, I think it is a bold-faced lie to say only women do it. We do it differently. But
that's a woman thing. I ain't say only women.
Y'all know the term Captain Save-A-Hole did not come about women. Men come in and you absolutely think you can change women. That's how you end up.
He threw a penalty flag on you, girl.
Don't say it's just women, because we do it differently. Y'all think y'all can save a woman. We think you can change a man. And I'm telling you,
I think I got what the difference is. So we believe we can change them. They believe that they can save them because they're looking for the women that are needy. So that is what the biggest issue, because one of the biggest things I would have as a challenge in dating is that guys would say, I don't need them, meaning me. I don't need them because I'm quote unquote the independent chick that has a career, that has a job, that is financially stable in a sense. I still need a little bit of help. Y'all want to wire me $5? It's almost holiday season. Anyway, but again, I think that's the difference between how men and women move in terms of relationship based on what luxury is.
Right. That's
so let me say why why. Let me use your example and
got
prove my
estrogen.
point.
So
my point is, so if I'm bad with finances and you think you can save me, then you are ignoring the red flag that I jack over money, and you think that somehow you can help me do better. And then 6 months down the line, you mad because you sitting in the dark like Lucky doing right now.
It's not dark. This is my sexy light. I'm sick of y'all.
I'm just saying, then you mad talking about she don't never do what I need her to do with the money and da-da-da-da-da. That's the same thing. It just looks different because it's the same thing. You're trying to fix something that is broken, that is a red flag about a woman, and you're
y'all
trying
go
to
to the
fix
whole
it.
Build-A-Bear store to try to build a man. You try to take the first 2 Legos and build them up to what you want. You see something wrong. Typically, if he's nice looking, and especially after they've been Khadijah and all them been putting on here, he lay that good wood, then you really think you can fix him. Come on now.
No, you want to fix him. No, when he laid a good wood,
right.
you want
to He laid that good wood, then all of a sudden you don't care if he's working. You don't care if he's working.
And you ready to make a whole housewife. Ain't no difference.
You don't care if his cologne is a weed bag. Like he smell like weed, you don't care. You just don't care.
Y'all happy to offer up that $40 to send them to go get their hair done. That's all.
So somebody I think it was somebody put in Levita. Somebody put. So I had a similar situation, like being, party promoting thing like that. I know a lot of people. Like I know a lot of girls, and you'll start off and people will meet you like based off that, like, oh damn, popular, a lot of people, but then down the line it becomes a problem. You know what I mean? Like, too many women or too many, people reach out to you. Now, if that was a red flag for you, because I can't change that. Like, who I am is who I am. So if that was a problem for you in the beginning, why did you dive all the way in? Why did you dive? What did you think was going to happen? And I'm not talking about no cheating stuff. I'm talking about just knowing a lot of people. Everybody dated popular people.
I think Khadijah brings a good point. The problem is people date for their potential instead of dating for who they are.
Right.
And I just want you to, Miriam said, get off the Build-A-Bear. So
definitely. We have a bad habit. We have a terrible habit of treating pythons like Labradors. And then when the python turn around and bite the shit out of you and try to squeeze the soul out your body, you feel betrayed. When basically that python was just being a snake, because that's what it is. It is what it is.
Hey, Lefty.
People are who they are, but we tend to, I'm gonna treat this snake like a little puppy and rub it and take care of it, and it's gonna be loyal and great to me. And it's not.
Hey, Lefty. You dropping bars right now to the
bars.
To the,
That's not bringing champagne, baby.
Hey, that champagne got you dropping bars, and they can't handle it over there, man. It's coming too hard.
Can't handle it.
That whole Build-A-Bear, it flew over their head, and they didn't even understand it, man. You getting way too deep.
I was the CEO of the Build-A-Bear. I was the CEO of the Build-A-Man.
See, I'm like, y'all, we own our stuff. We absolutely tried to build a man with a couple of things. However, what I'm saying is y'all are in a state of denial. If y'all think that y'all have not dated people that you absolutely knew was not, they was trash, and you thought you could change them.
No,
because they check the box. Or socially they look good on paper.
No. I gotta call BS on that, because me and I are not dating somebody looking to change them. If they for the streets, they for the streets, and that's what they use for the streets. Remember that.
Y'all get mesmerized by the big booties, but hold up, I want to shout out Tia comment, because Tia and Miriam made the funniest comment of the night so far. I said we thought we was unicorns. Sarah, you realize you're not a unicorn, just a pony who got stuck with an Eeyore. And then Miriam came behind it and said, or a Shrek. So I'm just saying, these comments is like, y'all is like giving it to us, and I can't even keep up, y'all. Like, I am trying to shout everybody out because y'all is giving us such good comments.
Now, one of the bigger things, I know a lot of people that have dealt with this, is church. Right? You meet a guy he's not a church goer. That's not his thing. But you in the church. And then somewhere down the line, that becomes, you know, you trying to get them to go to church, and vice versa. It ain't just. And I'm not gonna put all that on the women. And then
that's a deal breaker.
Yeah, and then it becomes an issue, right? But now for you, now before that wasn't a deal breaker, right? That wasn't a red flag.
Right. I say in my younger days, because you know, Jesus wasn't my homeboy back then. I ain't kick it with him like that. But now that I've been through some things, like I can honestly say I'm looking right. I need the I know that I'm looking for a man that will pray with me and over me. And so if you believe in something different, then there's no fixing that. There's no compromise.
I'm not saying atheist. I'm just saying he's just not into
but even like for
religion
me,
like
somebody
that.
who does not believe in Jesus, God. Like you can be spiritual, you can believe in the universe. We're not going to be compatible because you can't. I don't want you to pray to the universe for me. I want you to pray to God. So, like when I say that's a deal breaker, like if we're not spiritually compatible, that's a deal breaker. I'm gonna tell you what I have found is a red flag.
Islamic brother,
Yeah, like no, we're not. I'm not going to mosque. I'm not like it's not, but I'm gonna tell you what else is at our age is a deal breaker. Like how you handle your exes. Like Camo brought it up. How you talk about your ex. If you still talk to your ex, do you feel the need to still help your ex? Your ex still have and that's a red flag for me. I don't want you look, no, I'm selfish. Nope.
Is this an ex or is this a baby mama? It's a difference.
No, we talking about. I'm thinking of both.
Oh,
so
hold up. We 45. Your children have your number and are more than capable. If you having long drawn out conversations with your parent about stuff that ain't got to do with the kid, that's still a red flag. I'm not talking about somebody with toddlers, right?
That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about grown kids.
Okay, you talking about toddlers?
We old. Now you got a toddler. It's a red flag. Why did you have a toddler at 45? No.
It's somebody that couldn't back out the driveway and shot the club up out there. So you do know that.
That's a red flag then.
But I mean that I don't necessarily call it a red flag, but I agree with how everybody's saying is how you handle the baby, the mother, father, whichever way it goes, because some red flags are a red carpet. Like I definitely don't play all that baby daddy stuff at all. At all.
So case in point, and I hopefully none of them are on this feed right now. But I went to a funeral and there were two baby mamas and a girlfriend. See, the first baby mama get on the mic and say, "Me and him ain't never stopped loving each other. We were still together." You know what?
Wait, what?
Yes.
Say that again.
The two baby mamas and a girlfriend, 3 women. Awkward, yes. At the funeral, the first baby mama get up got the oldest kids and says, "Me and him ain't never stopped loving each other. We were still together." So for me, if I was the girlfriend, if that was going on while he was still alive, oh, you talking about a red flag? Like, what you mean we ain't never stopped?
Lack of libido. Come on, man.
T. Rich said religion, finances, lack of libido, and not being able to read out loud.
Now that's red carpet.
Or wait a minute.
Those are non-starters.
Or look like you got to read out loud while you reading.
Right, like you can't read silently. You need to say it out
loud. So let's get into what some people should pay attention to. I tell you, as a woman, I think every woman should pay attention to a man's relationship with his mother.
Yep, absolutely.
Should pay attention to a man's relationship with his mother. If you don't have a good relationship with his mother, something you got. I'm not saying leave him alone, but you got to pay attention to that.
I'm gonna expand on that, Lucky, because I think we focus on him just not having a good relationship with his mother, but also the type of relationship he got with his mother.
Yeah.
If he depends on his mother for no. If he depends, he can have a great relationship with her.
Boy between bad.
Right, depend on her for everything. That's still an issue because I dated somebody who my entire existence was my mama don't do it like that. I'm not your mama.
Now that's too much there. Yeah, that's way too much.
I'm not your mama, and so you gotta look.
Finish your sentence.
Right.
My mama don't do it like that. Hold on.
Yeah,
I'm talking
you,
about
That's kind of
you,
how
weird.
I
you
cook,
went as dark
how
as this
I
room
wash
I'm in.
clothes, how I clean the house, how I change the baby diaper. My mama
Thank you,
said you're supposed to do it like this and not like
man.
that. No,
No,
Yeah.
I mean, speaking from somebody, I'm close with my mom. You know, I consider myself a bit of a mama's boy, of course. Yeah, you know, but it's not. I don't think it's over the top. I mean, you should have a good relationship with a mother. That's your prime example of a woman. If you ain't loving on her, how is he capable of loving on any other woman? His mother, mama. You know, I understand it. If some bad things happened in the past, but I know things that happen to people in the past, but that's still mama. Like, to me, if you can't, your relationship with your mother is not intact, you disrespectful, how you talk, you know, stuff like that, man. Come on, that gotta be a red flag.
That's true.
That gotta
No,
be a
I'm
red
agree
flag.
with you. That is definitely a red flag on how
Shout
he
out to
treats
my
his
cousin,
mother.
Dr. Sharon, on the line. Hey, cuz.
Hey, cousin.
Hey, I tell you what else I don't play, and I stopped playing that years ago. I don't play all that. I'll slap you, even in a joking way. I don't play like that at all. I don't do none of that.
Let me tell you,
We don't do none of that.
thing,
That you know, no. That and watch how people are, and you know, like I mentioned conflict resolution earlier. Watch how people act in those instances, because if a debate over tacos or pasta turns into us not speaking for 2 weeks, like that's too much.
That's
hey,
a
that's
problem.
a serious dispute, though. The
I mean,
tacos,
come on now.
Tacos.
Dispute.
I mean, I'm just saying,
wait.
like, if something that small shouldn't turn to
Absolutely.
a knockdown, drag out.
I don't know. Y'all made it sound
argument.
like tacos. You know, the 2 meats and 3 sides was a big deal. So I mean, I can
Whoa,
see how
whoa,
it's
whoa,
almost a holiday.
whoa. Hold on. Did you just? You cannot. It's in my contract, man. 3 meats, 2 sides.
Yeah.
No, 2 meats, three.
It's
I thought
2 meats and 3 sides.
No,
It's 3
it's
meats and
3 meats, 2
and
sides.
No, he right. 3 meats and 2 sides.
3 and 2. Now that's a red flag. That's a red flag. If you can't put together 3 meats and 2 sides, that's a red flag.
That's why I'm single.
That's why I'm single. Holiday, ladies, get them together.
Hey, even a smaller thing on more on what I touched on. Pay attention, like if somebody walking up on you, like getting up in your face.
Right.
I don't play none of that. Like that should be a huge red flag.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I watched too much Fatal Attraction, and most of them start off, there was some physical shit involved. So you have to know. I don't think nobody meets somebody and start slapping the hell out of them right away. No. But you start seeing
those little signs
of aggressiveness, that aggression.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. Somebody that walk up on you, yelling, all that yelling and screaming. I don't have time for that. Those are red flags because I don't argue.
Said it earlier. Yeah, Rocky said it earlier about, you know, aggression is a thing. And it don't always have to be towards you. But if he's going off on the waiter because he, you know, took too long to bring his water, you got to start looking at this person don't have an ability to successfully manage his anger, right? So yeah, I'm gonna say this from a woman. No, let me say, I'm gonna say something from a woman point of view. This is one thing that I taught my children. Look, don't go into anything with the attitude of you better not hit me. You better keep your hands to yourself too, because if something pop off and he come tell me you hit him first, you was Rihanna-ing him all in the car, head against the window and all that. Sure. He got knots, and then he did something that self-defense. Look, I am a firm believer. Every man has a breaking point, and you don't get to push him to that breaking point and cry victim. You don't want him to touch you. You keep your hands to yourself. You model for him in conflict how to handle it, and you don't ever disrespect his body the same way you don't want him to disrespect yours.
Exactly. But before it even get to that, it's those things like Miss Trish Rush. Don't call me out my name. That's me and a woman. Don't call me out my name. I don't play that. I don't play that bitch ass, punk ass. Whoa. None of that. Out the gate.
Those are deal breakers. But you know, you also
so she can't call you a lame.
No, don't even call me that.
No.
That's calling me. That's disrespectful.
No, that's disrespectful.
That's
Absolutely, I
disrespectful.
got you.
That's disrespectful.
And
But
I
the
think it
thing
goes
is,
both ways. Yeah.
if you dating somebody, man or woman, and y'all going out, and there's also some type of conflict, whether it be with the waiter or somebody bumped into him, those are red flags. Because guess what? Even though he may not direct that towards you, you gonna be into it with some other folks because it's always a set-off.
That's a red flag. If
That's
you
a red
always
flag.
in drama, look, I am
Exactly.
too old. And listen, if you don't know how to get along with people, and I like people, that's a red flag. Because
Yep.
what I don't want to have to do is manage you. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have to explain for you or stick up for you.
We
I
can't be
need
going to
somebody-
jail. We can't go to
Right.
jail every weekend when we go out.
No. You can't. I can't. And I can't afford to get you out of jail every other week either.
Or as parents say, causing a scene.
But another
Scene, man.
and another big red flag is if they're always the victim. You know, I always hear like, oh, it was so-and-so's fault. In every situation, like it's everybody else's fault but yours. Like that's a red flag because you cannot be absolved of everything. Like there's some situation you got to play your part. It takes two to tango and everything. So you have to be able to acknowledge and be held accountable for what your role was in any situation, period.
Rocky said
So
she didn't go on the second date because a guy, the way he talked to a server, the bartender.
Yeah.
She picked up on it.
Good job. Red flag. Like, I wonder what would happen if we were more receptive to walk away and not keep giving red flags second chances. If we weren't so busy trying to say, maybe it's not a red flag. Oh, maybe that was just that waiter. Maybe he had a long day. If we weren't always trying to rationalize red flags, I wonder what would happen for us. And I'm speaking for me because I'm the only single person on the thing.
I can answer that.
Okay.
We wouldn't have a show.
Facts.
We wouldn't have a show. So we need somebody to be dysfunctional. So
wait, T Rich hit on it. We wouldn't grow. Because I agree. I think some point
you gotta make those mistakes.
Yeah.
But the first part is you gotta know your boundaries, and your boundaries gotta be set. Especially at this age. Like I know what I'm gonna deal with. I don't care. You can check off a bunch of other stuff, but that one that's my boundary, you gotta have them boundaries set. And if you don't have those set, you're gonna keep falling for the okie doke every time.
I just want to hit on William's comment because this one for me is triggering because I had to learn this the hard way. Man, women, like for real, the male ego is real. And whether it's right or wrong, you can destroy a man with what comes out of your mouth when you are angry. Like they won't get over it. I literally said something to a friend of mine 4 years ago. And every now and then, jokingly, he would bring up that I had a whole fit. It was like, I hate you. Like, and it was deep, the hate, and I don't hate him, but in that moment, what he was doing, I hate it. And when I tell you, he still brings that up to this day. And so I just didn't learn, William said it, men, what we say to them, they pretend like it don't cut them deeply, but it do. It does.
It go both ways. It goes
both ways. Yeah,
it goes both ways now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And then I think
but you know what? For the most part, I'm gonna say that y'all ain't as disrespectful. I'm gonna go ahead and say I think when we get mad, you know, very few men are gonna be like, "You little titty bitch!" Like y'all ain't gonna say stuff like that.
Damn.
But we will talk about the size of your manhood.
We go there.
We go for the jugular. So I'm just gonna say
the thing.
Talk about his cock eye.
What's important about that is that
I'm sorry.
Right, that is
you get a penalty flag for that.
Absolutely. So, but I think what's important, I think Smoke fella brought it up, is basically how do we deal with conflict? How do we express ourselves? So I'm not saying you need to walk around on eggshells thinking that you can't express when you're not satisfied or when you're not happy about whatever your mate is doing or whomever you're dating. You have to be able to do that, but it's your choice of words that matter. And again, if you're pointing out a flaw, what is going to be the resolution to help it offer a solution. And
Right.
if you are committed to your relationship, it's really about you all working together to accomplish whatever the end goal is. Because if you good, then I'm good. But we got to be able to be adults and have those conversations. And I think part of the challenge, I think, for women is that we wait until the shit hit the fan, and then when we explode, then we be like, yo, small dick ass, blah, blah, you ain't doing this and blah, 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 and you ain't done this. Like, we go there instead of having that conversation way before and
Call
being
me that,
adults
it's
about
over. That's the breakup. That's the
It's
breakup.
done. It's done.
We don't go together no more.
Well, I feel like we need to have a.
We need to do that. We need to do another round and we go together.
What did you say to me?
No, last season we did a we go together. Sound like we need to have a we don't go together no more show.
We broke up. You say some shit like that to me.
You know what?
It's over.
The first 15 minutes next week is we don't go together no more.
We don't go together. Okay, we don't go together. For the holidays. It is the holidays. Next week is Thanksgiving.
Take my ball and run out of here.
Yes.
You call me some shit, say some wild shit like that to me.
Now, I gotta ask the fellas about T Rich, because I'm not a dude, so I don't know this. But T Rich is saying if a man likes you, like not love can sometimes blur the line. But if a man likes you, you will be amazed at what he's willing to do, tolerate, or accept.
Those are
fellas,
bars.
True or false?
Definitely bars.
Those are bars.
Wow.
True.
Okay.
True.
All right.
And you know, I know it's a bad look and it's in my contract not to agree with T Rich, but on that one, I have to.
Wait. So LeBron, he put up there.
That's a good one too.
It cuts, but you got to bounce back, because if I'm the greatest 1 minute and next I'm the problem, you need a mirror. I agree. If every single time we get in an argument, I say that you horrible, but then the next minute I'm like, my baby is yes, we absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you what's a red flag for me as we get ready to wrap up this show. This just made me think about it. It's a red flag if you talk bad about your significant other in front of your significant other in front of other people. Like,
that should definitely be a red flag.
Like if we out to dinner with, or we hanging with the crew and we bringing up something that's like, yeah, he don't ever do this. That I don't care if it's something as simple as the garbage. Like, that's for the ride home. Like, like, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you're not tearing them down in public. I didn't learn that. And
let me
you
tell you
always
something.
criticizing me in public. Like,
let me tell you how strong my boundary game is. I got homie red flags. We can't even be homies on certain stuff. Like dudes, I'll be like, man, I don't rock with cats that do that. Like you talking disrespectful to your lady, like all that calling out her name. Nah, I can't roll. We can't rock. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just, you know, that's what I mean by like having those set boundaries. Or like, of course, I've always hated thieves. If you're a damn thief, you can't be around me. Like I don't care. Maybe you didn't do it to me. Some people feel like you didn't do it to me. You know what I mean? Or if you trying to run up on one of the, or if you trying to speak up on one of the homies' ladies or something like that, if you on shit like that, Even though it's not my situation, you're doing it to me. But if I see you doing that to somebody else, then I'm not naive. I feel like that's just who you are.
Right, and you can do that shit to me.
Oh.
Right.
I like what Joyce has put up. What happens if a man's telling you make him happy and you can't communicate what you need? You can assume that because you love someone that you're necessarily loving them right. I think we talk a lot about. Well, I talk a lot about the love languages. So really understanding how to love that person in a way that they need to receive it. So that's definitely a good point.
Yeah, and like that's and you pass red flag stage at that point. You deep in. I'm like speaking on just before you get to that point. You know what I'm saying? That's where we really got to have that line drawn. Like, okay, we can't keep hanging around. You know what I mean?
Man, these are first for me because, like I say in my contract, like Camo, I really agree with what you said. In my contract, I can only 2 times a month. I can only agree with you, and this is one of them.
I understand. Thank you.
Wow. Listen, we're gonna relish. We're gonna go out on a high note that this fella has absolutely just agreed with Camo. I don't even know what to say because it's such a rare moment that he agrees with the she's. Will and LaRon, I hear you. Like at some point you gotta recognize he just don't like you no more.
Right.
He's sick of you. So listen, all I'm gonna say is another great show. We are staying true to what we put in Mr. Smokefellas contract. That show would be an hour. Listen, y'all was so dope with the comments. Y'all was so dope with the feedback. We coming back every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Oh, I was gonna say 7. 8 p.m. Central Time. Y'all, I love talking to you guys, but we're gonna go ahead and sign it out. I'm gonna start with Mr. Smokefella because according to his contract, he needs enough sufficient time in order to log out. So let me go and get him the platform. Go ahead and sign us out, Mr.
Well, you know
Smokefella.
what? I enjoyed you guys today. This was a very interesting topic, and the guests, you guys I love that my men was chiming in on this.
Mm-hmm.
T
Yeah.
Rich, you got a $15 fine for being late, and every time you late, T Rich, you getting that fine.
$15?
$15.
$15.
Damn,
$15.
That's strong.
That is strong. That's strong. We don't even charge admission, but you get hit with $15 late fee. Good Lord. All right. Camo Chick, go ahead and sign us out.
I enjoyed myself, but I'm also excited that my little fashion hack worked. Before we got on the air, I was like, I need on some jewelry. And I was looking around about to go get something, and I had a headband sitting right here. So, yay for the fashion hacks. But no, great show.
Oh, wow.
Love this audience. Looking forward to next week. As a reminder, we are in the holiday season. So please, please, please check on your strong friends, check on your weak friends. If you, as a listener, are feeling like you need to express yourself and you need support, please, please, please inbox one of us so we can connect you, support you throughout this season. We are a family. We are a family. I hate you. I so hate you. We are a family, but we want everybody to make it through this holiday season with a smile, and if not, with a hug. Thank you. Tossing it back to y'all.
What, Mr. Smokefella?
I am requesting from my brother over there. I'm requesting that I get a top 10 do not do at the Thanksgiving dinner. Can I get that?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Can I get that?
Ram.
Yes.
You definitely getting that. Yeah.
All right, y'all
Let's
done
go.
heard it. So now y'all gotta tune in next week where we help all of y'all survive the Thanksgiving dinner with your booze. Some of y'all got a boo for the first time in a long time. We gonna help. Lucky is gonna help you because
your ass to be broke up by Black Friday.
Yeah, I need some help. I need
You
some
be
help.
single again by Black Friday.
It's been a minute, so you got to help me.
You be carrying that 52-inch screen by yourself. Mess up if you want to at the Thanksgiving dinner table. But real talk, real quick before we sign out, man. I know we didn't get a chance to talk about this, but it's kind of trending right now. This is y'all with daughters, man. Like this is a very serious topic. There's the rapper the baby, if y'all know, like the viral video that went to him, just pretty much disrespecting the hell out of the mother of his child. 3 months, like going viral with it, Twitter, everything, man. Teach people, like teach your daughters that you teach people how to treat you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And like accepting bullshit and stuff like that. I don't care how much money somebody got or how good they are in bed or whatever, man. Like respect, like you gotta command respect. And that's with family, friends, lovers, whoever it is, man. So please teach your daughters, man. That's not acceptable. As a man, I was ashamed. I would have choked the hell out of the baby if he was a family member of mine for doing something like that. But please teach your daughters to treat people how to treat them, man. So see y'all next Tuesday. Top 10, baby.
Listen, we appreciate you guys. We appreciate that you chime in every Tuesday, and our show would be nothing without our audience. So I want to shout out to everybody that commented. I love that y'all be having them thumbs ready. I hear you, Joey. One day we are going to have a live show where we here as a panel. Really, I didn't get my hat on.
Next time a bug in town, we going live. We'll go live.
Next time I come to the Chicagoland area, I promise you we will have a live show where everyone could come out, meet the panel for real if you don't know us, and actually participate in the show. That is absolutely coming. But I do want to just say, listen, like what Lucky said, let's remember in this time frame that Facebook, social media is not a real world. It is a fantasy world that we create that shows what we want people to see. And so don't get down on the holidays because folks look happy. They turkey was dry and didn't nobody make no dressing. They ate stuffing. So I just want you to know you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. Single people, you're going to be okay. This is entering the bad time for single people.
Yeah,
For,
y'all don't know nothing.
Was you doing
for that live show to happen, make sure that you are making sure that you are seeing your El Paso PO, your parole officer, so we can get you in town.
Wow.
Make sure you do what you got to do so we can get the fans what they want.
It'd be embarrassing to get arrested on camera.
You're right.
And if this was your first time watching the show, make sure you go like the page, share the page, hit the get notified so you don't miss any shows. It's the holiday season. Some folks on here ain't got no jobs, so we may just surprise you and go live with other, arbitrary shows with She Says and the man cave. So hey, you need to follow the page so you can keep up with the tomfoolery and the shenanigans. Mr. Smokefella, thank you so much for reminding me. I'm gonna go holler at my PO right now, and I'm gonna make that happen. All right, that's him right there, Stoney Jackson.
Stoney Jackson, baby.
All right, y'all. We're gonna see y'all later. Thank y'all for tuning in. See you next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Central. All right, y'all.
All right.